y'all for tuning in and showing love. Kind of squad. We got JC in the building. It's just a little squad, partial squad.
What's up,
man? Listen, there's a lot going on today with the Zach Lavine news. Got to talk about everything around that. What's the best case scenario for the Chicago Bulls trading Zach Lavine? Is this even going to happen? What does this mean for AK moving forward? I mean, there's a lot to break down with all of this. We'll talk about all that and more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Let's go. Got to put that other one in there, man. I keep forgetting to put that other one in there. It is hey, what's going on, man? Hey, what's happening? How you doing?
First, it starts with the thumbnail. He just puts himself in the thumbnail.
Guys, look.
No, I'm not sorry. This man puts himself in the thumbnail, right? He just says pat in the corner, right? Like this, the whole panel was just pat in the corner, right? Yeah. And then now he does the intro with nobody else on it, right?
Yeah.
Like we ain't got a whole intro.
I mean, listen, I don't have the intro here. You should talk to the super producer about that. And it is what it is. How you doing, my boy? What's going on?
Man, shut up.
Oh man, hey, listen, we got a lot to get into today, man.
What's this view happening?
What?
That view is better. I mean, I was in the corner, man. I couldn't see myself. You putting baby in the corner? No one puts baby in the corner. Anyway.
He's starting hot today.
Man comes in and it's instant anarchy.
Fam, Zach Lavine is about to get traded.
Welcome to Armageddon.
Here we go. Let's talk about it.
Hey man, I mean, listen, let's jump into it. That's the biggest topic. I mean, I've been giving my thoughts on it on our channel and of course around the bull circles all day. What are your thoughts here? Zach Lavine, Persham Sorania is being rumored to possibly be traded. Both sides are open to a trade now. And that would be something interesting if the Bulls did move on from him, because there's a 15% kicker that kicks in if Zach is traded. Now that kicker, we said on Locked On Bulls that would go to other teams. The Chicago Bulls actually have to pay that kicker if he has to be moved. That's a lump sum in the beginning, all of that. Money is being spent here if the Bulls do move on from Zach Lavine. What are your thoughts on the possible Zach Lavine trade that could be at hand here? Let's start it off there.
I have a 10-minute rant that I've actually recorded. It's going to drop after this show. That talked about how much of a cluster mess up. That's a safer way of saying that.
Yeah.
This is because at the end of the day, this was something that could have been salvaged. This is something I felt like could have been avoided, and now it's going to cost you money. It's one thing to sit there and say that you're losing a player and you get pieces back. All's fair there, right? But no, now this is going to cost you an additional. What's 15% of what 230? I mean, 10% is already 20 mil.
It would basically be like an extra $6 million because he's already gotten the first year of his deal, so it's like an extra $6 million.
Oh, it's on his. It
would be on his annual, year,
not the total contract.
Yeah.
But even still,
there's a lot of money. Listen, it's not shorting the money.
Hey, guess what? That's someone's actual salary. Like, guess what? The point guard that we probably could have kept, that 15% kicker, could have probably paid for that point guard that you didn't go get if you're AK. For this and the point guard.
I mean, you haven't paid it. Well, it's not like the money wasn't going to be there. Yeah, you haven't paid the kicker yet. It's only if he gets traded. So
he's going to get traded at this point. At this point, he's going to get traded. We have seen very few situations where a star is rumored to be traded. Both sides have kind of agreed to explore options, and that player stayed.
Yeah,
we've seen very few of those situations. And if it drags on too long, it's going to become from one of those things where it's an amicable amicable party to one of those. Now he's a disgruntled player type situation because you've already seen him mail it in. Me and you caught that game. He mailed that in.
No, 100%.
So I mean,
I'm with you.
Yeah. No, I actually think that I'm right there with you, PK. I think that if they prolong this, if both sides are kind of saying, let's try and see if we can get something done. There are teams that are looking to getting Zach. I believe like the Heat, I believe the Lakers I saw on the list, perhaps even the 76ers.
Yeah.
They may get done with this quick because then the chemistry in the locker room, the chemistry and the organization may be off. I mean, this was a project where we thought Zach could elevate his game to the point where he could be that guy, right? Be the first option, be the guy to take us to the next level. But Zach Lavine, honestly, is as athletic as he is, as talented as he is, he's found out to be probably your second best player on a championship team. And so you can't. I guess what I'm saying is you can't build around him. We have to move forward.
I just think the tough part here, right, is this just going to get done? This is not one. First off, there's certain players that can't be traded yet. That all of these teams that we have, you can't move them. Like if you want to trade with Philly likes their depth right now, but maybe they want to go get a second star in there. I've heard their name thrown in it. You can't trade for most of the pieces you probably want out of that trade until December, not even December 15th, because they just got traded. So I believe in February you can trade for those guys again. I got to look up the deadlines for all of them. But, like, it's not like you can just go out there. The Lakers aren't moving anybody because there's a bunch of guys they just signed, right? They won't be eligible until December 15th. I think one of the interesting teams that maybe is in there is a Miami. But are they going to be one of the teams that's actually in on it? Now, we did get this from Shams Charania today. He was talking about that the Heat, the Lakers, and the Sixers are expected to show interest in Zach Lavine. So those are the three that you're kind of looking at. Two of those three teams you're not talking about trading with until later on in the season. You're not talking about trading with them until closer to the trade deadline. Maybe the Miami Heat is a team where, you send them down there. That'd be crazy. You send them down there with Jimmy Butler, somebody else who traded away. He goes on to win the NBA championship. I'd almost feel good about it a bit. But
funny because Jimmy's missing a player like Zach.
He's missing a guy like, well,
yeah, that's true.
Tyler Hero's kind of like Zach.
Tyler Hero's not like Zach.
Tyler Hero's kind of like Zach.
He's not as athletic, but he can definitely put the ball in the
outside of dunking. I mean, the numbers are there.
Yeah, I would say shooting wise, yeah, he can do everything except jump like Zach.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is, December 15th is literally a month away. Like it's literally just 30 days. And some of these trades are as intricate as they can be. That's still a lot of time in this league. That's not a lot of time. Philly's a playoff team.
Yep.
Philly's a playoff team right now. They're going to sneeze into the playoffs. The Lakers are going to sneeze into the playoffs. Miami, fringe. This might get them, but they are a play-in type caliber team. They were going to be in the playoffs before we were.
Yeah.
So I mean, at least that's the thought process there. So I mean, like all of those teams are going to be fine. Realistically, I think he ends up on the West Coast. I think he ends up in the Lakers jersey because there are some players that can be traded that no one talks about. No, it's not Anthony Davis, although I do see that happen. But Anthony Davis has been cooking.
Some of the trade packages that have been thrown out there are idiotic. Like some of these trade package people are talking about with Zach Lavine can bring this kind of value. No, he can't. Yeah, I mean, like, no, he can't. Like Zach Lavine's not bringing you back Josh Giddey. Zach Lavine's not bringing you back because they're not these teams aren't moving on from their young players, right? Like some of the trade packages have just been hilarious for the most part. But I do think that there's
trying to fleece for no reason. Like
you better prepare for Rui Hachimura. That's who you better.
He's not a superstar, right? He's not going to get a Dame package. He's not going to get none of that. You're not going to get anywhere close to that. Yeah. But you are going to get a couple pieces. And I do expect the pick to be involved. Like I do expect that, but don't expect the 4-5. So I saw somebody say 3 first-round picks for who?
What?
Yeah. For Zach has a potential to be a 3 first-round pick guy. I'm not gonna say he doesn't, but he ain't that today, and you get paid off of today. So that's not gonna happen.
We'll see. I mean, listen, what's the team you guys see as the most likely scenario for Zach Lavine right now?
Well, I'm piggybacking off of P. Kid. I see the Lakers because they have the young talent. They have the pieces outside of the superstars that can actually probably get this deal done. I mentioned Rui Hachimura, who has improved vastly being on that team. He always had the talent in Washington, but now he's kind of realizing it as a role player in LA. And I think that coming here, he can probably be a really good piece to develop. You got Cam Reddish, you got Christian Wood, you got Austin Reeves. Maybe they might not want to let go of Austin Reeves. Maybe you package Zach Lavine with Alex Caruso and he goes back to LA, and then you bring those guys back. But that's kind of what I see. I see the Lakers as the top guy.
Kid, what you think?
Honestly, I this is something I haven't vetted, but I'm going to use LA again. But I see a Clipper situation developing, mainly because I see some things happening there that I think don't really work well.
Don't say James.
Well, they can't trade James.
They can't trade James.
They can't trade James.
They can't
Please.
trade James.
Okay.
They got James. James ain't going
he's
nowhere.
He's
Keep
there.
it, please.
But I'll be honest with you. I would love to see Russ in a Bulls jersey. And so I'm feeling this is my hope and prayer. I've already given
I
you
don't
my
think they
take.
can trade Russ either right now. Well, not till close to the deadline because Russ
he could be traded at the deadline. I did vet that part.
he could be traded at the deadline, but it would be again a lot later on in the year. When does a team come to you with a package? Because Miami's knocking on the door immediately.
Yeah, Miami's missed on so many main players. And if I'm going to be real with you all, like my heart says he ends up in a Clippers or Lakers jersey, mainly a Lakers jersey, right? Just because they have the package there. They've been showing a lot of interest. When there's smoke, there's fire. There's been a whole lot of LA Laker Bulls kind of talk throughout the last couple of weeks, right? But I do feel like Pat Riley is going to make a move for him to get another person down there with Jimmy Butler and Bam. I really feel like he has to because he's been cooked all off season. I would hate to see it. But I would also love to see if Zach Lavine gets the opportunity to take that leap because Jimmy Butler, as good as he is, does not have the potential offensively that Zach Lavine has, and they're missing that type of player.
I don't know about that. He dropped 50 back to back.
Jimmy plays in the fourth quarter.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
But here's the funny thing.
He might not do it during the regular season. I give you that.
Right,
He's not gonna have too many 50-point games during the regular season. But I think didn't he have
50-point games last year? Don't get me wrong.
He picks his spots when he wants to dominate.
He's a mind over matter. He's going to will that. Like you need that person there. But let's be honest, Jimmy Butler taking a jumper beyond the free throw line scares me at times. You like that one's a little flat. Like that one may not go. Jimmy Butler taking a three, he knocked them joints down, but you was pleasantly surprised when he knocked them joints down, right? Like you didn't feel like Jimmy got this three. You felt like, dang, Jimmy hit that. That's crazy. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but like you didn't expect him to hit it. You just like, oh, he hit it. It might be a good game. What I'm saying? So I don't get it. I think that's the type of play. But even if you feel like that Jimmy is the best player there, he don't got the support elsewhere. Tyler.
Well, I just think that there's excuse me. I think you have like if you're trading for Zach, it's to do something. If you're Miami, to me. Right? Like if you're trading for Zach, it's just to say I did something. Because right now you have Duncan Robinson there, you have Tyler Hero there, you have Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, and all those guys are getting running. Listen, I understand, right? The Miami Heat are still not the end all be all. I don't expect them. I didn't expect them to come out the gates destroying people left and right. And they're having a good start to the season, 6-4, not terrible. But yeah, I mean, like when I look at that team, I say, okay, well, you just need one or two more pieces. Those are usually the young guys you develop to be pieces off your bench for you, because now you're adding Duncan back in a lot more with the starters. Like, I think you'd be trading for Zach Lavine. Maybe it bolsters you, but you got to send a piece back because of how much money he makes for you to be able to make the trade to work. So you're sending pick swaps. You're sending whatever picks they have. They don't have many. And probably either Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson, and you're trading that for Zach Lavine. If you're sending Duncan Robinson, okay, I guess I can see it. But if you're sending Tyler Hero, you basically trading Tyler Hero for Tyler Hero that can jump.
But you got to realize this, though.
Exactly. Point. Yeah.
No, Tyler. No, that's disrespect to Zach Lavine. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't.
No, it's
I can't.
not.
Listen, I'm not overvaluing Zach Lavine, especially in that second half of last season. Was able to do things that Tyler Hero has never been able to do. He's able to make plays, break down defenses in a way that Tyler Hero does not do. Tyler Hero was a great NBA player. When I say great, he's a good shooter. All right. He's an NBA player.
He's a great shooter. He's a good NBA player.
He's a good NBA player.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have the ability that Zach Lavine does. And that's what's missing. Who else can make plays from our slashers, our guard position outside of Jimmy Butler in a clutch? If I need you to put this ball on the floor, can you do it now? Zach Lavine does struggle with that at times, but he don't struggle like Tyler Hero does. And the funny thing about it is, if you really think
Tyler
about
Hero, I don't need him to put the ball on the floor. I just need him to put the ball in the air.
But you need enough people to get him the ball and you put it in there, right? So here's the funny part. What do we ultimately need? We need more shooters because we still kind of struggle with that. They need other playmakers outside of Jimmy. It kind of works. Like if you put with enough shooters, you got the interior and the exterior, and you're probably cooking. And
But
then
you're
you
not
got DeMar in the
saying do
middle.
a trade for one, are you? You're not saying Zach for Tyler.
Well, you couldn't do a trade
You
one for
couldn't
one.
take
Zach made
trade.
too much money.
Yeah.
But
It would be Tyler and some other pieces.
but I think here's the thing. If the Miami Heat picked up the phone and said, "We'll send you Tyler Hero," and Jaime Jaquez is probably holding up this deal at the end of the day, like he holds up every deal for Pat Riley. Jaime Jaquez.
Like saying that name.
Whatever the piece is, right? Whatever the ancillary piece to make the cash work is and some draft capital, I'm probably saying, yeah, let's do it. Because he's 23 years old. He's averaging 22 points a game. He's already had multiple 30-point games this season, and he's shooting 41% from the three-point line. You got dang right. Send
Light it up.
Yeah, I mean, if Pat Riley is so old and stuck in a MASH episode that he's willing to do that trade. Yeah, I mean, because there's a marathon going on, so he can't be bothered to actually look at the term. Send it my way, 100%. Because now you're resetting your timeline with a young player that has already proven, one, when Jimmy Butler was out, he can play without a Jimmy Butler there. Two, in a system where Billy Donovan has set it up so literally you just need one guy to go shoot the basketball efficiently. He can already do that. You'd have still Vooch on this team and probably Caruso for the defense of it. Yeah, let's do it. If Miami's wild enough to make that trade, I'd be all in for it.
I mean, you got to think about it. Tyler Hero's averaging 22, 23 points a game, but he's trying. Zach is averaging 22. He's mailing it in. That just puts it in context for you right there.
You really think he's mailing it in every single game? I get what you're talking about with the pass.
I don't think he wants to be here, dog. You kind of see it in his body language. He barely even tried. Pat so many times was like, Zach is not taking a shot.
Listen, he took shots. He took 19 shots, but most of them came in the fourth quarter. He took like 12 of them in the fourth quarter. He was just kind of going through the motions. Yeah, I mean, but even with that, right? 28 point per game Zach is 4 years ago. Does he get back to being that guy?
I think he's that guy.
I don't think so. He should be the second scorer. No. If you put him on Miami, that man's not touching 28. He should be touching maybe 22, 23 at the most with Bam and Jimmy doing their thing. So no, he shouldn't be.
He might, because Jimmy don't want to score. Jimmy, can somebody do this? Please help me. Jimmy, Jimmy don't want to be that guy. And it's not to say that Jimmy can't. He showed you that he can, but he wants to sit there and be the glue guy for that team and really lead them in that way. And that's cool. I love that about Jimmy. He is who he is. If he has to score, he can. That ain't his forte. He's trying to lock people down and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's time. Overall, it's just time. The experiment didn't work. Our claim to fame was that with Lonzo Ball didn't work. He ain't come back in time. We couldn't find another guard to replace that type of synergy. I can respect AK for making a move when he sees it's not working and them coming to an amicable agreement to kind of seek out options, as opposed to this player was just randomly traded and it seemed like he got slighted. I like the way he's a player's GM, so I like the way he's doing it. But I do think that this is a miss. This is a miss. He has to get shooters back. We still gonna need a point guard. I think playing inside out, which is what we saw in the last game. They went to Vooch a lot. Yeah. They was playing that game. He got his double-double. Vooch is still a top 10 big in this league. I know somebody in the chat is going to be like, oh, my God, no, he didn't say that. Shut up. Look at the numbers. Everybody's not Jokic. Duh. Vooch is still a top 10 big. You put enough shooters around him, you get DeMar to still allow him to do what he does. You might get a resurgence of P. Will, who wants his $200 million. The team could develop a little bit, not have to fight that fight. But yeah, it's just time. It's just time. It's better to go this way than firing the coach and then going through limbo.
I'm telling you, it's everybody's sitting here like this is a done deal, and it's all listen, the time in between now and him actually possibly getting traded, all it said was they're open to him both sides are open to a trade. That don't mean that AK is just gonna take whatever deal comes.
Exactly. Yeah.
That don't mean that AK is just gonna be like, yep, we just wanted to get rid of him. It's not gonna be a situation where, and like the video if you agree, like the video if you disagree, like the video if you ain't got nothing else going on. It's not gonna be a situation where we see Walt Lemon Jr. walk in the building and Denzel Valentine. And
you watch your mouth about Walt Lemon Jr.
Hey.
That was mini Derrick Rose, all right?
I just let that live. I didn't even say nothing to that. Y'all attack him, chat. I remember Stacy was like alluding to like, hey, this guy looks a lot like another guy that used to play here. And I remember just being like, yeah, I'm gonna start calling these games with the volume off.
Man,
I love Stace, but that's one of the worst takes ever. But no, I just think in reality, all Bulls fans have said, yep, he's gone. Yep, it's done. That's not the case. Like Zach Lavine might not get traded. What if they end up moving on from DeMar DeRozan and they slide Patrick Williams into that spot, and all of a sudden, right, things start to work a little bit smoother. Now, I'm not saying that. I don't believe P. Will's going to turn into anything special at all. Or maybe they slide Ayo Dosunmu into that spot, and all of a sudden, Ayo's able to, be more of a scorer in that situation. Like, there's so much time between now and December when some of these teams' draft capital is going to start opening up for them that want to actually make trades on Zach Lavine, that you don't know where you're going to be at in the season. And Zach Lavine has been a player that while he's been here said, I'm fine being in Chicago. Like, I like Chicago. I like being there. I like being the number one on the team. It is what it is. So like, I don't think that there's this, oh my God, he's gone. Like, I'll believe he's gone when he's gone. Like, that's literally the second that he's out of the building and we see the draft compensation coming back, that's when I'll believe it. Do I think that maybe they move on from DeMar? Probably. Even though we did hear from Shams today that there might be a situation where they try to get a contract done, even though the two sides are far apart. They both want to get a deal done, but DeMar does want to see where this team is going to be at the end of the year. I mean, it's probably not going to be good.
I think DeMar, honest with you, the best thing for DeMar to do. Go ahead, Jesse.
No. I just, I'm with you. I think DeMar wants to stay here. He's been saying that ever since he's been here. He's wanted to kind of just keep his family here. He loves the city, loves the organization. So I think he's trying to close out his career here.
And it makes sense for him too. You got to think about it like this. DeMar is going to be kind of in that Carmelo Anthony type of situation where like you are too talented to be the third option, but you're not going to be the focal point of anyone's offense. Here, he's a focal point of this offense.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think from the sheer preservation of it all, like for him not being relegated to a bench role or support role where he can still be who he is, this is his best option. And Billy Donovan can make that work. Yeah. I can see him making that work. And DeMar does seem to work well with some of the younger players. Like, mind you, all of the younger players that we hear getting work in.
What though? Like that's
crazy, ain't it? I know where you're going.
That's the number one thing that people keep saying. They're like, well, DeMar's mentoring these young guys. Patrick Williams gotten worse in every aspect. Ayo Dosunmu, the 1 year he didn't go, he got better. Dalen Terry's not even on the NBA team.
But here's the thing. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. But the main thing we hear DeMar's name in association with them and trying to get that work in. Whether or not they putting it on the floor is different. I don't hear Zach's name with them as much.
Yeah.
And so when you think about who's bought in, who the team has bought in with and stuff like that, keeping DeMar around as that savvy vet would probably be the best thing to do as you trying to pivot to something else. And it allows him to end his career on a high note. Because, think about it. What happened to Carmelo could very well happen to a lot of these players who still have a lot left in the tank. But you're just past. You're not part of the system. You're not part of that future plan.
I'll tell you this. I'll take it a step further. If DeMar gets moved, he'll probably fall out of the league very quickly. The modern NBA is not built on older players sticking around and being focal points of teams. The Chicago Bulls are built on this. But most of the NBA, look at most of your NBA teams. I love hearing, oh, they have a young team. Who don't got a young team? The only teams that don't have young teams are the teams winning championships, which tells you all this young team stuff really don't get you that far. But like, oh, they have a young team.
It's not a bad take. It's not a bad take.
It's just, listen, this is why I say it takes time to build things. You have to have development to build things. Young teams don't win NBA titles. Young teams are exciting. Young teams are fun.
Watch.
And the team, to your point, the Boston Celtics have gotten older in our face as they've kept their core and added pieces to get there. And throughout that process, they've been to ECF.
Well, and finals, when I say young, I mean like when people are just like, we got to blow it up and go get this 19-year-old out of Germany. That's it. Now listen, it turned into Luka Doncic and it worked out, right? Like he's not out of Germany, but like you know what I mean. Like when I say young, I mean more that versus like when Steph and them won, they were young. That's why they won so many. They had such a long path for them. But I mean, you had
they had savvy vets on their team.
You had Iggy, you had Spates, you had I mean, like
David Lee was still on that team.
Livingston
was actually still pretty young too on that team. Like his leg, that's one of the worst things I've ever seen.
But when I consider old, what I think of old, I don't think of old as in 30, 34, because at this point, modern medicine, stuff like that, I don't know what LeBron is on, but he's cooking. And a lot of players who are older are cooking. I mean, Steph is 35.
Yeah.
Let's be real. DeMar and Steph are the same age.
Yep.
So, like, realistically, you could play at a high level, and he's still playing at a high level. But when you're not, just about being the focal point. But when I look at age, I think of how long you've been in the league. How long you've been in
Steph is 35 made me go look at Steph numbers. Like, I knew he was cooking, but oh my God.
That man's on fire right now.
41, 24, 41, 21, 30, 28, 34, 30, 38.
The funny thing is, I can see DeMar on that team. Just putting that out there.
That's a good. It is a good one.
Hey, but see, you'd be sending them to a veteran team.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think of when it comes to that, you need veterans. You need people who've been around long enough where the moment is not too big for them. You only get that through experience. Yeah. You only get that through a couple of years. Like Jason Tatum now and the Boston Celtics are probably more poised now than they've ever been to win because they've been there, they've taken their lumps, and now it's like I don't think much can get past them now. They're mentally
it's not even that. It's they've been there. The player you added that is running the show has won there.
Has won, yeah.
And you added Kristaps Porzingis just to be tall and run around. The only question with them is they bench.
Like in health.
Hey, they bench is 8
depth
deep.
and health. Yep.
They team is 8 deep, and one of the 8 is Peyton Pritchard. And the other one is Luke Cornett. Yeah, I mean, like, it's tough. It's tough. Yeah, I mean, like that's an interesting one. But I look at the Bulls scenario now as one where you need that piece to start.
Yeah.
Those teams that we're having a conversation on. And that's why I don't think the Bulls gut it. Right? Everybody's all on they're gonna blow it up. This is the time. The big three's done. We're gonna move on. Maybe they move on from DeMar. There are 2 players that I guarantee are gonna be here, though. Alex Caruso is not going anywhere, and Nikola Vucevic will be here. Those are the 2 that I foresee.
Move, bro.
You said what?
I think he gets moved.
Who?
Caruso?
AC. Yeah.
I think
AC won't get moved because you're trying to readjust what the identity of your team is. The identity of your team is the 2 players that AK brought in this offseason right now. Javon Carter, Torrey Craig, gritty guys, do anything you can to get a win, fight it out guys. And I think AC is the leader of all of that. And I don't think that AK would move on from AC at this point because I think if you moved on from AC, you literally go back to not having a vocal leader on the floor. I like DeMar. DeMar's a great scorer. He's not your vocal leader on the floor.
I just think to sweeten the deal, you have to add somebody like AC because, like I said, if he goes back to LA, which is his roots, then that just makes much more sense for them to bring back better players. But if you're talking about, they need somebody that's still a mentor, that's still the leader in the locker room, I could see that going that way as well. I think that's kind of on the fence with Alex.
Well, I mean, listen, you've got young players that literally don't open their mouth. Kobe White said, I'm just now getting to the point where I'm comfortable talking to these guys.
Yeah.
Like on the court, like telling them what to do. And he's the point guard. He had to get comfortable. He was forced into getting comfortable with it. Patrick Williams literally don't talk. Yeah, like you'll never hit P. Will on the court just like, watch that, get over there. Now he's doing some better things defensively coming off of the bench and stuff like that. But like you have to be able to have guys who are on the court that are gonna communicate, be the leader when things get screwed up. Hey, get over here. What are y'all doing? I ain't seen that one time since that game where we lost to Phoenix when AC was trying to calm everybody down. I saw it a little bit with Io the other day. Io told everybody calm down a little bit.
Io's been vocal since.
Io is actually used to being that vocal. Like he was that in college.
Yeah. Now I do agree with Rando on this, by the way. That's a Rondo. Oh, Rondo too raw. Okay.
It's Rondo. All right,
rocking with Rondo. I was more surprised that we was rocking with Rondo on that. Unless his name is Rondo. Shout out to you. But AC is not a throw-in either. AC is a player like that. I keep seeing. I posted that FanDuel trade to the Locked On Bulls channel, and everybody lost their minds. Like I made the trade. Like I didn't come up with the trade. And I looked at the package, And everybody was like, Zach Lavine and Alex Caruso for this. And I was like, Alex Caruso could get this alone. He just don't make enough money. Like Jalen Hood, Shafino, and that 2029 first round pick and Rui Hachimura, you should send me that for Alex Caruso. I don't want D'Lo. D'Lo's ugh.
No.
Yeah. I like D'Lo. I mean,
I love you.
Hey,
I love you, but no, Alex Caruso could not get that on his own.
I'm gonna tell you exactly why he can, because there's already a bidding war for a player like Alex Caruso. A 2029 first round pick is so far away, the Lakers don't care about it because they're trying to win with LeBron right now. Rui Hachimura is a role player that you would replace his minutes with Alex Caruso because he could pretty much play 1 through 4. And they don't even play Jalen Hood Shafino because he's a rookie this year, so they don't know nothing about him.
Rui Hachimura is done enough for them, especially walking into that situation last season, where he can get that head up. I mean, we're split hairs there. It ultimately don't matter. I agree with you that AC is not just a throw in. What his talent doesn't make him a throw in. His money makes him a throw in. The money aspect, does make him. He's one of those things where I know he's worth more than what he's under contract for, which is why you're going to agree to this deal because he's a part of it type situation, right?
Yeah.
So he's a throw in for that. He's a throw in because of that, not necessarily because of how he plays.
Yeah, but even in that scenario, you still got to send me back. Now you got to send me back what would it be? You got to send me back $80 million worth of player contracts now.
Well, mind you, only have to trade. They only have to even out this year's salary for it. You don't have to match.
Zach make 40. AC's making 20. Or AC's making 15. What's AC making?
I think it's fit. I thought it was 12. I could be wrong. Jesus, you said 2015. I said 12. He's somewhere there. He making some. He
making like $6 million. No, I know he's making more than that. Alex Caruso contract right now. He got a 4-year 36. He was making less than everything. He making 9. So you have to sit back $60 million in $50 million in contracts.
Yeah. The funny thing
about
a lot
of money in contracts to send back. Like
the funny thing about it, and Rex said IO back Coach Hard in college too. Yeah. The thing is, I'm gonna say this: you're not gonna get rid of Zach and DeMar because AK pigeonholed himself. He picked players who can't play. Like your number 4 overall ain't shown you enough to be your number 4 overall. Your number 18 overall don't even play with the starters. Julian Phillips, like you said, you don't know where did that kid suit up. You don't have enough young talent to sit there and take the reps. Who's going to be your offense? You have to maintain some level of offensive efficiency, and DeMar brings that, right? And in droves. And so he can't divest that much because then you're going into like what would be considered a rebuild. And I don't think AK can go through a rebuild right now.
Well,
I think that would be very damaging for his reputation.
I think the funny part is you still think we operate as a normal organization. I'm a White Sox fan, my guy. AK ain't going nowhere.
No, it's funny. I mentioned that in that video too.
He could go through 3 rebuilds. He ain't going nowhere, my guy. This man's gonna be here. You know what they do if they fired AK? They would promote Mark Eversley. That's it. That's all. It'd be over and done. Like that's the Reinsdorf way. But the one thing that I will say about like moving on from Zach and DeMar is I think that's the one part that a lot of people are confused by. They think everyone gets 20 shots. I love seeing that. I saw that. I dropped a video about, Pat Will struggling and Torrey Craig coming in, blah, blah, blah. And Muzz were like, I just don't understand why P. Will can't get shots. There's enough shots to go around. They take 90 shots a game. Why can't he get 20 of them? Because that's not how the NBA works. Let me teach y'all the politics of basketball. Let P. Will try to take 20 shots. By the time he got to 11, they'd be like, go say, actually, he has gotten to 11 this year. And they was like, hey, we have a nice seat on the pine for you right here, young man. You sit right here. This is where you'll be for the foreseeable future. Like, no one's getting 20 shots a game outside of your main players. Vooch, DeMar, and DeMar's taking a step back to allow Kobe to get more shots in the starting bit of the offense. But I want everybody to really remember how they love Torrey Craig coming off the bench. This is what we need in the starting lineup. Then Torrey Craig came in the starting lineup, and all of a sudden he was taking 3 or 4 shots a game, but he's giving you 12 rebounds. That's what the 5th option on your team does.
You know, the funny thing is, It's very situational. You're not wrong by the metric of a lot of teams in the league. But I always look at the pedigree of who we have at the helm and what they've built. So we look at AK, what he built before he left. The Denver Nuggets have 4 people who get double-digit shots. And sometimes Michael Porter Jr. is getting 20, 26, and Jokic is taking 15. It's all within the flow of that game and the system they've built.
No,
The
but I think
unfortunate part is
the
we are the
difference with
great
that is,
value
though,
version of that.
yeah, but
That's what it is.
the difference with that is, though, your main piece gives shots. Like your number one, that sounded crazy. Your number one option on offense is the one giving everybody else the shot to take. Yeah. I mean, like if you got a center that averages 12 assists a game, everybody else better be shooting that much.
So that's to your point, and to my point, why that point guard that we had was important. We had the perfect prototype of a true traditional point guard, because that's all Lonzo really wanted. He was a shoot second, pass first guy.
Yeah.
And if you look at how the Nuggets are constructed, you could argue what Jamal Murray is as a guard. I think he's a combo guard. He does take a lot of shots.
Yeah.
But if you go through their shot selection, there's games where he's taking nearly 30 shots. Jokic taking nearly 30 shots. MPJ done took 20. They got Caldwell Pope over there. I can't stand that dude. He take 15 shots. But
you gotta get Kentavious, man.
Dude's trash. I don't know what it is. He's not trash, but still, it's their pace of play and stuff like that. And the amount of possessions they're able to get that allows them all to get these shots. But they're also, again, shooting at a high clip. That ball's rotating. The offense is flowing, like we said. The ball's not sticking. They're averaging like 110 points a game, stuff like that. You get those opportunities when you have that type of synergy there. AK really did try to build that type of synergy here. You can see it.
Honestly,
the fingerprints are all there.
Yeah,
it's just the wrong pieces. It just didn't work.
And it takes time. And here's the thing: individually, they're all gonna cook. Individually, they're all gonna cook. DeMar, if he goes somewhere, Zach, if he goes, they're gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
They're good players. It's just it don't work together, and you needed that piece that makes it work together. Lonzo, to kid credit, was our Jokic. And by the way, Mike Milley, AK traded for Aaron Gordon, just in case you're wondering. They did go get KCP after he left, though, but AK traded for Aaron Gordon. AK built that whole team, except KCP. Who was the dude they had? It was basically KCP, but a different face.
Fam, I was just thinking about that. I was like, who was the guy there?
Was it Will Barton?
They had Will Barton was on Denver. He was on Denver for a minute. And
they traded him for KCP.
Oh, don't have me lying.
Whoever KCP got traded for was the one. Nah, not Gary Harris. Gary Harris went to Orlando.
It wasn't Bruce Brown because he didn't get traded.
Bruce Brown was there.
No, Bruce Brown was on the team. Y'all know who I'm talking about. This is the crazy part. We all know who this dude is, but he's literally just KCP with a lower shooting percentage.
Now, here's the funny part while we think about that. I want us to look at the Bulls versus Bucks game, and I want everyone to look at the shot attempts, right? And I want people to get off this P. Will thing because I Pat entertains it. We are just shut the noise up about this P. Will thing. There's multiple people.
It was Will Barton.
Is Will Barton? I kind of
same dude. Same dude.
But there's 4 people who got double-digit shots. They just didn't make them. Oftentimes, we have 4 people in double-digit shots. Oftentimes, we have 2 or 3
double digits ain't 20 shots a game, though.
10 shots a game is a lot. Especially when you're not 15 shots a game is a lot.
15 shots a game is a lot. 10 shots a game is like
you can get 10 Andre Drummond sometimes gets 10 shots.
Guess what? There's stars in this league who are averaging 25 plus off of 14 shots a game.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, I know it's Kevin Durant, but I'm just using him. When you're efficient like he is and you get to the line like he does, guess what? It's 14 shots on the registered, but he took 28. I think he got fouled on half of them.
Yeah, that's the thing too, right? Like P. Will technically took 11 shots the other day. 7 of them were registered.
Because he got fouled.
4 times.
So that's how you get to the line. You get those points. And that's why the stat line be like, oh crap, he got 20-something points, but he only took 8 shots. That's a Giannis stat line sometimes. Like, yeah, he's at the line. Like that's what happens.
That's why the games be so long.
Y'all just got to be real with the fact that P. Will didn't take the shots.
Yeah.
And he didn't get to the line. So guess what? It looks like he's not getting shots. That boy has opportunity. He didn't take them opportunities.
Well, no, but I'm not talking about before at all. But I think now
I'm not talking about you, but that's a narrative.
I think now when you look at P. Will and like I will say this, the one thing that I do want to see, and it's we've only seen it a couple of times. When there's no other option, what do? That's what I want to see from all these young guys. That's the reason that I'll be okay with moving on from tomorrow. When you have no other options, like guess what? You pass this ball, it's coming back to you. Like oh no, I didn't get a good shot on that. Well, you better figure out which one is the right one because it's your shot.
Yeah.
Like I want to see that with Kobe. I want to see that with P. Will. I want to see that with Io. When you're forced to do that, because if you move on from DeMar, you're probably talking about a starting lineup that's Kobe White, Io DeSumo, Patrick Williams, Torrey Craig, Nikola Vucevic.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
I'm actually cool with that
because I ain't telling you're gonna win a lot of games. Now you're gonna play some defense. I ain't gonna lie, that lineup gonna play some defense. But I ain't say you're gonna win a lot of games. But when you ain't got no choice, there's no DeMar, there's no P. Will, or there's no Zach Lavine to defer to and eat up 18 seconds of the shot clock. What do you look like?
You better feed it to the big man. But I don't think Kobe's gonna have a problem taking shots. He's never been scared.
Yeah, Kobe. Soon as they trade one of them, Kobe like 10 more shots.
But you probably see the best version of Io DeSumo, because Io DeSumo even last night was our assist leader. Io DeSumo is a good playmaker. Now I know I've been like on the Io versus Kobe train before. We kept both of them. Yeah. I like them both in their respective roles. If Zach's not there, Kobe is a good backup shooting guard. He's a starter on somebody's team. He might be ours.
Yeah.
We don't have a point guard right now. Jalen Carter, Javon Carter, whatever. It's Javon Carter. There's his name. He's not a point guard. He's undersized too. Io is a playmaker. Let's see what happens. Let's roll with that young talent. I think it could be interesting.
I've said this since Io was at Illinois. I've said that Io has the potential to be. Io at Illinois is averaged easily over 20 points while being the playmaker and the facilitator for that team. So I wouldn't see that it's out of the realm of possibility that if you trade away the top guys on this team, that he somehow elevates his game on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah,
as a point guard. Now I don't know what he's going to be as a scorer in the league, but as a point guard, how he works that pick and roll with Vooch. How he actually works.
You know what? I think that's why I don't want Io at point one. I'd rather see Kobe at point one because his handle is just better. Kobe White's handle is shout out to dribble too much. But I would rather see Kobe at the point because now he's getting the opportunity to go out there and play one position, and he's doing a good job at it. He's playing it well. And he's giving you contributions on the defensive end, and he's going out there being able to score the basketball. You know what I mean? Like, but then I look at what Io DeSumo is as a point guard, and I feel like it's just too rigid for him. What Io did at Illinois was a slowed down version of what Kobe White is doing now. Nah. I can score off of what I can create, and I also can just run pick and roll with this mammoth of a man that's in the middle of the floor. Like Io DeSumo wasn't coming up there like, all right, hey, we're gonna run this set, get into it. Here we go. Like that wasn't how Illinois offense was running.
Yeah,
they was running a heck of a lot of pick and roll with Kofi.
It was a lot of pick and roll. It was very free flowing, and that's what you get when you have young players that run. You got a lot of play with a faster pace offense, which is what you would go to when you have a younger team. You're going to pick up the pace and stuff like that. Billy Donovan does do well in that type of situation. I do think you get the best of Io. I'm not going to sit here and say I disagree with Kobe being on the floor. Kobe being on the floor is a good thing. So me and you, aces right there. Kobe is a scorer though. He was a scorer in college. He's always has been a scorer. I have to give him credit for that. He's always been a bucket getter from that aspect on the levels he's played. And we've seen him do that at a high level in Chicago here and the pros. Him being the starting two guard where that's what you do. That's what I need you to do. I think that simplifies the game from Kobe. When you put Kobe in a situation where he has to make plays for others, I think you actually do him a disservice and you take away from what he does best, which is score the rock. Some people are just naturally good at scoring. I think that's Kobe with a better, handle package now. I think that's what he can really evolve into, and that'd be cool. I mean, he's a 6'5". If he cut the fro, you really see it. What is he, 6'6"? 6'5", 6'6"?
No. He's 6'4", 6'5" at the most.
Yeah, his arms are 5'2". Man got short arms, bro. That man got Yeah, the little.
Man just called him a T-Rex on the low.
He is a T-Rex, low key. Like I
called him a
well, you know what he is. That's why he shoot the ball so well. Like 2K really was on point with that. Like the smaller you make the arms, the better a shooter he is.
Is that fact?
I don't know, man. Like I just think
the more compact you make your arms.
To me, your assist.
I've never made a player in 2K. Like I did do crit, but I never did make it like. Never mind. We had.
You never did to my player.
I've done it, but like I don't buy into it like that. Like, nah, I ain't finna sit there and grind it out and get the level. I don't care about level 99.
I feel you.
Like I don't have time for it.
Here's my thing though, right? Your guys who are leading in assists in the NBA now are all that kind of guard. Like they're all guys that can score the basketball or mostly score the basketball or are the leading scorer on their team. Like it's just a different league now. So I don't expect a playmaker at my point guard position to be my only option.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially when I've seen Io, like seeing Io now, Io looks so much better now just as he's almost playing free safety on offense. Like he's just kind of flowing through the offense, whatever y'all need me to be. I'm the 3 in this moment. I'm the 2 here. All right, I'm playing point right now because me and Kobe on the floor together, and him and Kobe do have a great synergy. But like, yeah, the assist leader in the NBA right now is Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton, the leading scorer on his team.
Hey,
you about to get Harris to start talking.
Hey, bro, listen.
That man different, dog. I'm sorry.
Hey, forget that. Hey,
I'm a huge Tyrese Halliburton fan, dog. I'm a big fan. That dude different.
I don't care what nobody say. I can live with Halliburton. Passing on Devin Vassell pissed me off so much.
Yeah.
Because you had to scout that team to see P. Will.
Yeah.
You looked at Devin Vassell on the court.
I got you.
The entire game. It was like, hey, what that dude on the bench that ain't doing nothing got going on?
I feel like that's what they did with P. Will.
That is what they did. That's what I'm saying.
No, that's what he's saying. Like, the same team.
No, I'm saying P. Will was on the bench a lot too.
No, that's what I'm talking about. Like Devin Vassell was the starting point guard on the team. So you had to go to the game, see him first, and then go, hey, what P. Will do?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
he was looking at the potential. He wasn't looking at the guy.
And here's the thing. Here's the part that sucks about that.
He out AK'd himself.
I would rather have a GM that does that. Now, what I will say is this:
lost it.
I always saw more potential in Tyrese Halliburton than I ever did in P. Will. When I broke down P. Will tape, I remember at the end of the tape, I just went,
all right.
I said, would I take him for? No. Would I take him in the draft? Yes. So I like a guy, but I would rather have a GM that goes for potential because we've missed out on too many players in our past going safe versus going potential.
Dog, he was a second rounder that snuck into. He was Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah,
it was Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah,
dag.
You saying Patrick? Wow.
He was Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny about that? It's the same situation because Halliburton went way later in the draft. He leading the league in assists. He's being like a generational point guard.
Is John Watson.
Who else did we pick over?
I gotta look at that draft again. Halliburton might be Deshaun. I don't know if there's a Pat Mahomes in that draft. I think that's the tough part.
Who's the best player from that
Pat
draft?
Mahomes.
Halliburton is Pat Mahomes?
Nah. Whoever the best person from that draft would be.
Halliburton is ridiculous, but I mean, he's still like 22 points a game. Like, he not 50. He not 50. Nah, he gonna get there. He probably gonna get there.
Hey, dog, Halliburton cold, dog.
Hey, he's a dog.
I'm sorry. I couldn't stand the fact that he's in our conference, and I was just like, dag, I hate to root for another person in the conference like that.
Yeah.
But I want him to win. First of all, he just seems like a cool dude for one, which is rare. It's rare to have somebody that's like really good at ball.
My favorite thing is
articulate.
My favorite thing is when Jordan Poole lost the game shooting a like 40-foot 3-pointer. And everybody else was like, you can't take that 3. And they had Halliburton on the show. And Halliburton said, I would have took that 3. And they was like, but you'd have missed. And he was like, no, I wouldn't. I was like, it was the greatest thing bruh.
That's his shot. He takes that shot.
So P. Will was for Okoro. I can live with that.
Anthony
Okongwu,
Edwards,
I can live with
definitely.
that. Avdia, I definitely can live with that. Hey, kid was so in on Avdia, bro. He
I
just
was.
knew
I ain't gonna
Denny
lie. I
I
thought
was
Avdia
Dia
was
too.
was
going.
I'm
gonna
not gonna lie. I was too.
I thought he was gonna be cold.
Not
I
gonna lie.
looked at that boy. I was like, Denny Avdia is garbage, and y'all are way too hype about this man.
Dang. He didn't look
Hey, but he
garbage
got paid though.
overseas.
Denny
He got
Avdia
paid
shooting.
though. What P
Hey,
will
Denny
get?
Avdia is shooting 26% from the 3-point line. Forget that, Denny Avdia.
Hey, but what? Hey, but
Jalen
did he got
Smith,
paid though?
man. Devin Vassell went 11 to the Spurs. Halliburton went 12 to the Kings.
Tyrese
God, dang.
Maxey,
Tyrese Maxey's in that draft.
21st.
Maxey went 21.
Sadiq Bey, I
Whoa,
would,
buddy. Whoa there. Hold on. Did Maxey just drop 50?
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Wasn't nothing in the second
Oh, he was in
round.
the
And
trap.
if
My
you're
bad,
talking
y'all.
about the
It was
Pat
in the trap.
Mahomes of the draft, yeah, it might
That
be.
one hurt a little bit.
Was
That
Luka
one
in
hurt a
that
little
draft?
bit.
Huh?
Luka was in that draft?
No, Luka wasn't in that
No.
draft.
Oh, I
No.
thought somebody said Luka's Pat. I was like,
That
Luka's
was
in that draft?
Anthony
I was like,
Edwards and LaMelo Ball. LaMelo got right.
Obi Toppin was in that draft. By the way, how's Obi Toppin doing? That's another one. That's another one that he was on.
Hold on.
You want to know
Yeah,
why I
that's
knew? You want to know why I knew Obi Toppin was struggling? Because I know for a fact this man at one point had him on his fantasy team, and I looked at the free agents
No, I didn't have him
yesterday,
up. I never
and he
picked
was
him up.
out there.
I never picked him up.
Oh, I thought you was picking him up.
By the way, Obi Toppin for this season
here
has
we
had
go.
some pretty good games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
pretty good games. He's averaging 9 points on 57% shooting on 21 minutes a game. So,
Hey man, sound like the same dude that you was saying Thibs wouldn't let be unlocked.
well, for one, they increased his minutes and he rewarded them by having a higher shooting percentage, more points.
He
and
rewarded them.
Hey, you're not slick. You're not slick. He rewarded them by making one more bucket.
This
That man made one
yeah.
more layup.
Hey,
That's all
listen.
he did.
That man went from 55% to 57%. It's improvement.
I'm gonna give you my all.
That man went from 7 points a game to 9. That man made one more layup. That's all. He got 7 more minutes and made one more
last
layup.
night he was 14.6 of 7 from the field in 21 minutes. I'll take it. What P will give you last night?
13.
Yeah.
And what?
What he thought about?
13 and 5, I think.
He wouldn't give you 5 rebounds.
I think he did. I think his stat line last time was literally like 13 and 5, and he played really good
Anytime
defense.
he will give you more than 4 rebounds, it's a holiday. I'm telling you right now. Loudest 4 rebounds ever, dog.
P. Will gave you 13-3. Oh, my bad. He gave you 2 steals, 3 blocks, though.
All right, that's good.
That's a better game.
It.
That's a better game.
It's a good game. It's a good game. It's a good game on the bench.
Oh God. Hey man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to Show and Love. Let's finish it out real quick with this. If you had to pick one trade package that you want to see a team make, what are you looking at right now?
Any team?
Any team. Y'all can go to any team. I mean, it'll dictate where in the year that it happens, but any team that you feel like could make a trade for Zach Lavine, what would be the trade package that you want to see return for the Chicago Bulls? I got an interesting one. I ain't gonna lie. My boy Koo sent me this one. Shout out Koo. And this is to a team that it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt to see him in this jersey. But I would send him to the Detroit Pistons.
Oh, you crazy.
To get back Bojan Bogdanovic, Joe Harris, Jaden Ivey, and a 2025 first round.
Ooh, I like that.
Because I don't know why all of a sudden they hate Jaden Ivey.
He's just not producing like they thought he would immediately. Like
Jaden Ivey was cooking last year, and then Cade got healthy.
Yeah, for whatever reason, they just stopped playing him right. Yeah, no, I like that. You got shooters, and you got a potential guy to develop around. Yeah. Jaden Ivey essentially is a young Zach Lavine, young version.
Go ahead, JC. I gotta check something real quick.
I don't know about that. Jaden Ivey ain't 6'4". He a point guard.
I mean, well, I'm just going off potential, but okay, so I'm with that one. But one I would potentially like to see if all went right in the world, I would say trade him to Portland. Right now, Scoot Henderson is not doing what we thought he would do. I would try to take advantage of that. I would do Zach for Scoot And what's your big man from Boston? Robert Williams.
Robert Williams ain't got no knee.
I'm
Robert
just
Williams,
saying, I take
Robert
advantage of the
Williams just had
situation as it
another
is right now.
surgery.
Oh yeah, he out for the
He
season,
out
dog.
for the season.
Not Robert Williams. I'm sorry, DeAndre Ayton. My bad. For Ayton. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the other big man. Aiden and Scoot for Zach. I know they may not be. I'm just saying, in an ideal world, because Scoot is not playing the way we thought he would, you get him when his value is low. One can dream. I'm just hey.
I don't think they're gonna move on from Scoot, even though he do look trash right now. He look horrible. But I don't think I feel like you trading Zach for Aiden is trading the problem for the problem.
So
If you
even though I'm not gonna disrespect Zach like that. Zach hasn't been the problem. He just hasn't also been the solution.
Who has a legit point guard that can be traded? That's also another thing.
From a monetary perspective, this makes sense. They both have equal percentage on the kicker. And this team is looking for some solutions that I don't think really works out. They're too undersized at this position. And this might hurt. It's a little local. The Cleveland Cavaliers, Darius Garland, he signed a 5-year, $197 million contract. He's averaging about $34 million a year as a 15% NBA trade kicker or trade bonus. He has a trade bonus. So I mean that's the kicker.
That's a trade kicker.
Is the kicker. Very similar to Zach Lavine contract. And they also have Imani Bates, who they have in the G League.
Hey,
I've been big on.
I've been big on him since he started playing.
That dude's
they
a dog.
sent that boy clean to the G League.
That dude's a dog, though. I would absolutely make a move for Darius Garland, Imani Bates, who is 6'8" and could torch it and does come in. Very,
you know why I would
favorable.
do it? Because they about to lose their whole team.
Yep. They can't pay everybody.
They about to lose it. Not even that. Donovan Mitchell do not want to be there. This man bring up New York once a week. Donovan Mitchell is not there for the long term. Like I'm telling y'all right now, he is there for a good time, not a long time. You know, I'll
be honest with you.
Y'all enjoy it now, Cleveland.
Broski Bear made a good one.
What do you got, Zach for DeJounte Murray? Well, why would they do? Now,
I would add more on that, but that's a good start.
I wouldn't want Zach for DeJounte Murray because if I'm holding on to Zach, I want DeJounte Murray to come here. Or if I'm if I want DeJounte Murray and Zach together. Yeah.
Got you.
Now I wouldn't be. I tell you what. I'm
trading him for a point guard. I don't know. Y'all entertaining shooting guards. I'm trading him for a point guard to go with my shooting guard and Kobe.
Yeah.
P. Will, if he decides to, P. Will gives me like failed Evan Mobley vibes. Like it'd be a situation he can work with. That's what I'm going with in the money work.
So you saying DeJounte's not a point guard?
He's a point guard.
Yeah,
he's a point guard.
DeJounte Murray. Yeah, that's why it don't work. They both point guards. He's been a point guard everywhere.
Since the Spurs. But he is a point guard.
DeJounte Murray led the NBA in assists 2 years ago. No. DeJounte Murray ain't never been a small forward. DeJounte Murray is a point guard.
No.
Hey, I stand corrected, but I couldn't.
That man was a point guard on the Spurs.
Right. Yeah, he just plays off ball because you got Trey there. If Trey wasn't there, he'd be the point guard.
I'm terrified we're gonna be stuck in NBA hell because we will have
we're gonna be stuck. We already there, my boy.
The Zach trade. You know what? Here's the thing though, like, and a lot of people are saying this, right? If you're gonna blow it up, you got to blow it up all the way. I can say this as many times as y'all want. They're not. They won't. AK likes being competitive. The Denver Nuggets haven't blown up their situation since 2003. That's the last time they were a sub 30 win team. Strap in.
Here's another thing I just want to throw in real quick. Does AK have full control to do what he needs to do if they go down this road with trade?
I think so because they've paid so many people to stick around. Yeah, I mean, like I think if AK didn't have control, you don't re-up Vooch.
Okay, Good point.
I think they'd move on to save money on some of these guys. You know what I mean? Like I personally, I do. I think the notion that these guys don't have control, to me, takes place more in the coaching aspect of it, over the putting players on the floor. Because everybody's always like, the Bulls are cheap. They don't want to spend money. That's why they spend money. We just don't like the players they spent it on. They gave Carlos Boozer one of the highest contracts in the NBA. We just didn't like Carlos Boozer 3 years after that.
The one thing I have to give AK credit for is he did get good talent here. Like, he got good talent here. He didn't get good talent. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
It's a fact.
Jerry, yeah. Let me know.
But
that's a fact.
But AK did not get good management of that talent and buy-in, and that's the one thing. And so all this tells me is that they're trying to go with what works well and start actually developing these young pieces. Because oddly enough, what's the best version of Ayo to you? It's a pretty good point guard.
Mm-hmm.
Best version of Kobe is a pretty good shooting guard. Best version of Vooch to me is still he's already a top 10 big for you haters out there.
I mean, listen, if you give Vooch number one option, shots. You give Vooch 25 shots a game, like he's
probably
going to give you 25 points a game and 15 rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
Vooch going to finish his career here. I really believe that. I think he's going to be one of them players. He gonna be one of them dudes we talk about. Be like, and here's the craziest part about it. As much as everybody hate on him, he's probably the best center in our history, minus Joakim Noah. I'd say Joakim's above him.
You said, well,
you got me thinking.
Center. You said
Horace is a power forward.
Bill Cartwright, Luke Longley, yeah, maybe.
Joakim's the only one you can make a debate for. He was more of a defensive guy, but I think Joakim's probably our number one.
Yeah.
Vooch is probably number two.
Yeah.
Well, I know centers. We've guards. We always got guards.
Yeah.
Hey man, it's a good show.
Good call. Good call.
I don't know how good it is. It's still gross. But hey man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to show love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Oh, you know what? That's true. That's true.
Artist Gilmore. I was thinking about. I was like, somebody's there. Artist Gilmore. I thought he was a power forward.
I think Artist a 5. Artist a center.
Artist a 5.
Artists used to be good. You know what though? It's so skewed because the only times you see Artist video is like versus Wilt and Bill. So you be like, he was nice. Nah, Artist is probably 2 still. I give y'all that. That's sad though. Like, I mean, here's the thing. He's a top 5 center. He's a top 5 center. Who's 4 and 5? Like, you quickly get into like Bill Walton.
Luke Longley.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Luke Longley is automatically top 5.
You said who?
Luke Longley is automatically top 5.
Luke Longley. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, but listen, Luke Longley ain't better than Vooch.
Horace Grant played 5 sometimes.
Sometimes he went to that position often. Yeah, I mean, he'd be like, somebody missed it because it wasn't a good player. Hey man, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. We'll be back tomorrow for more of the daily show, and of course, we'll have content dropping throughout the day. As y'all saw, we have plenty of content out today. As always, man, it's your boy Pat the Designer, joined by the pettiest man alive, Mr. P Kid, and JC in the building. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago.